Hi, I'm Greg Finn.
And I'm Jess Budd.
Welcome to Marketing O'Clock's Ripped from the Headlines.
A deep dive into what's going on in digital marketing right now.
And right now, today's topic is from our episode 54, Reddit ads upgraded. And in case you didn't listen to the episode, Reddit made some significant changes to their ad platform, and we're going to give you the skinny here today.
Yes, and hopefully you did listen to that episode. But even if you didn't, this happened at the end of January, just a couple of weeks ago. To recap what we talked about then, there are a couple of updates to the Reddit ads interface. There's a new campaign objective type that is now available. It is the app install objective. You can optimize for mobile app installs on a pay-per-click basis. And a little bit bigger, I think, and we'll get into it. There have been some changes to bidding types on existing campaign objectives.
So Jess, what could you do before? What was the way you were able to buy ads on Reddit?
Excellent question. So everything was CPM based only.
CPM, cost per million or cost per mille?
I think it's the second one.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's cost per thousand,
Yeah.
exactly, or mille, Latin for thousand.
Mille. I never took Latin. Did you take Latin?
We.
I was like, we did not, but you were doing French. I get the joke.
Okay, so before you had to do everything on a CPM basis. So the initial thought is, hey, this is going to be huge. We're going to be able to do more than just buying in a traditional format or CPM cost per thousand format.
Yes. And if you listened to our Marketing O'Clock episode when we announced this, we were both really, really excited about this first one here, cost per click bidding, that was coming, is now here for campaigns that you have with the traffic or conversion objective. So again, these were formerly CPM only, and now they are CPC. So that's huge. And furthermore, still in the CPM format are brand awareness and reach campaign types. The update, though, there is that any ad groups or campaigns associated with those objectives now require a minimum bid of $5. And we'll talk a little bit more about minimums.
Oh, we will. Absolutely.
But that's it from the initial announcement. So you've now fully recapped on what we talked about before.
Okay. And so one important note is if you had any campaigns up previously, you need to have re-enabled them after January 28th, as the previous bidding types are no longer working. And so what you need to do is you have to hop in your campaign. You'll see that they are all depreciated. You will need to click on those depreciated ads and you will get in to see different ad groups and everything will be inactive. So you'll need to go into each different ad group and edit the ad group to put in a bid that is on a per click basis. Once you've got those per click bids in, you can then take that toggle switch, turn it green on those ad groups, and you will now be delivering. So if you were running ads and all of a sudden it stopped, hey, you got to go update those.
Yeah.
Because Reddit did not try to do the math for you and figure it out. You've got to go recalibrate those campaigns.
Yeah. And another thing that they did not do for you, in my experience, is anything that was paused when they made this update was not upgraded. So if you have anything that was enabled at the time of the upgrade, they switch that over for you. Again, you still have to make adjustments, but you're not going to see it there.
And so one issue that a lot of folks had with this change is that you can't really do an apples to apples comparison with the data because the data is not there anymore when you look at your reporting tool. So Jess, I guess a question that everybody has is that previous data just gone into thin air?
I panicked because I thought it was.
Oh, I know you panicked. I was here in the office. You definitely panicked.
I panicked for sure. But upon further investigation and something pretty obvious, though it wasn't to me at the time, the data is still there. You just have to go from your default view in your dashboard to the archive view. And that's where you'll see all your old stuff and all of the historical data as well.
And that's clunky, right?
Yeah.
As advertisers, we didn't choose to archive this. You did it for us. So that's not the best. That's not the best solution out there. But thankfully, that data didn't go into thin air.
Yeah, which I really thought it did. So yeah, nobody panic. There's other reasons to panic maybe, but that's not the one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
Absolutely.
So let's get into it. So now that you know how to have everything set up, you still may not be able to go live, as we alluded to before, because there are new minimum bid requirements. So Reddit, again, in that first announcement, talked about the minimum $5 CPM bid. But what they didn't say in that initial announcement was that there is also a minimum bid for CPC. Now, that probably sounds like nothing, but it's something. A, because they didn't talk about it. B, when they did talk about it, they put it in the comments. They didn't officially release anything, at least that I've seen anywhere. And C, this is what they said. Our minimum CPC bid is 25 cents, but our default recommended bid is 50 cents. You will be able to edit the CPC bid field to anything greater than or equal to 25 cents. So not only is there a minimum that people were not aware of before, but it's pretty high.
Yeah, and to me, the thing that $5 CPM on Reddit is crazy.
Yeah,
I would never recommend my worst enemy to say, "Hey, yeah, go pay $5 CPM."
No, and it used to, for anyone that wasn't using Reddit before, the minimum CPM used to be 50 cents.
50 cents.
So this is a big change.
Yeah, and we could get close to making it work with 50 cent CPM. Throw an extra order of magnitude on there up to $5. I don't know how you could ever make CPM work on Reddit. And there was also a lot of feedback on the fact that why put minimums in at all, right? Like the whole point is you should be innovative. Go be like Cura and be like, hey, we are going to make something remarkable that people are going to have a bidding competition for, and let the market set that rate, not just put a minimum in. So
yeah, for sure. And I mean, when we were on CPM bidding before, you did get to see what your CPC was, even though that wasn't how you were paying. And I mean, we were getting CPCs in the tens of cents. So this is at least double that. I'm sure other advertisers had completely different experiences, but this is at least a 2x increase in some campaigns that we were running. And I know we're not the only ones that would feel that.
Yeah, and we ran a lot of 50 cent CPM stuff, but what you would see is the click cost would be in the mid 17 cent CPC, something like that. And now the barrier of entry is 25 cents. And hopefully that's something that Reddit reconsiders, especially on the CPM side, because that's crazy. But one thing that happened is, especially a lot of smaller advertisers, they got really mad. And if you look at the thread from this announcement, there are many people that were super offended with the fact that, they were able to make something work at a really low CPM as something affordable. And all of a sudden you throw an extra digit on there and their hard efforts that they've worked for to optimize these campaigns up in smoke.
Yeah. And people, a lot of people, if you look at the thread, and we'll have the link to the announcement in the show notes so you can read all of those comments, but a lot of people are threatening to take their business straight off Reddit. They're not just complaining. They're like, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here.
And they didn't threaten. They confirmed that they did. That's my favorite part. They weren't like, you better change. It's like, oh, I'm a Facebook, Instagram fellow now.
Yeah, right. And Reddit went ahead and paused everything that they upgraded anyway. So it's not like we have to go in and even do that manually. Everything's already stopped. So I don't know. For fun and giggles, let's just read a couple of these comments. So Neat Needs said, we were having a 50 cent CPM and a 5 cent CPC. Now it will be at least 5x more expensive. How are we supposed to have a positive ROI? This joke will be the death of Reddit ads for now. For now. What else do we got here? So people called Reddit cash drunk. That was a funny thing.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Right.
Very descriptive.
I've never heard that phrase before, but I liked it. And somebody else said that this change is absolutely stunningly stupid. These are exact quotes. So I like it.
All right. I had a couple where I saw the update was absurd. I liked that one. And another kind of theme in there was just the horrible customer service that had happened. And one of the reasons why people were upset not only to the change, but at the same time everything rolled out, there was a bug. and with
figure.
Reddit ads, many people's accounts spent 3x or more of what they had allowed it to do because of a bug with the new ad platform. So not only were people upset with the change, but there were many folks that saw a huge increase. Now, if you were running Reddit ads, you should check that and try with the horrible and absurd customer service to see if you can get that refund. You should have it actually refunded. I saw a few threads where people got that proactively added back to their account. So hopefully, if you weren't paying attention, everything's going to be okay. But there was a
ever the
bug
case?
on top of this rollout that caused a lot of people to spend a lot of money.
Bad timing on that right there. Sorry, Reddit. But yeah, I mean, this again, when we first talked about this on Marketing Clock, we were super excited that it was coming. And I just feel like the fallout has been a little bit disappointing, but hopefully Reddit's going to listen to the advertisers. They're going to want to make some money and make some positive changes.
Yep, absolutely. And so I think, how would I use this as a marketer from a brand or from an agency standpoint? And to me, there's only one way you can do this now, and it's on a CPC basis. And it's on a very targeted basis.
Yeah.
So absolutely no CPM bidding at a $5 CPM.
No.
And what may make sense and test on your own, obviously, is to go with that minimum bid on very highly targeted subreddits with very good creative as well, that lets people know what they're getting into.
Yeah, absolutely. And something too, obviously, if you were running ads before, the old way, it's not going to behave the same way. So, maybe your most successful campaigns were where you should start testing some of this stuff, but definitely don't assume anything's going to behave the same with this new bidding. So be testing, and paying very close attention.
Yes, and track those conversions to see how it is shaking out at the end of the day. And that is it for this episode of Ripped from the Headlines, our deep dive into the new Reddit ads.
And remember, we're here to help. So if you're working with Reddit ads and you need some support in this tumultuous time, just hit us up.
You bet. And if you want to read more about what we discussed here, head on over to Marketing O'Clock and we'll have all the links for what we talked through today.
And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to Marketing O'Clock for these deep dives, industry interviews, and of course, our famous Friday news show.
And we will see you next week.